Hello and welcome. You're watching News Tonight. I'm Rajya. Let's have a look at the top headlines. 26 CRPF men of 74th Battalion killed in encounter with Maoists in Chhattisgarh's Sukma district. Several injured. State Chief Minister Raman Singh cuts short his Delhi visit to meet Jawans. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti assures situation in the state will improve in the next 2 or 3 months. Asked Prime Minister Modi to focus on dialogues as the way forward. PDP leader Abdul Ghani Dar killed by militants in Pulwama district in South Kashmir. It's the third such attack on party cadres in the region in the past 2 weeks. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari leaves on a 5-day tour to Armenia and Poland. Several agreements expected to sign during the visit in the field of bilateral trade. "26 Central Reserve Police Force Jawans were killed in an encounter with Maoists in Chhattisgarh's Sukma on Monday. Several others were injured in the attack. All the victims are from the 74th Battalion of the CRPF. The Jawans were part of a road opening party when the Maoists attacked them. The encounter took place at around 25 past 12 in the afternoon between the Burkapal Chindgaon area, which is one of the worst Maoist violence-affected districts in South Bastar area of the state. One Jawan passed away en route to the hospital in Raipur. The evacuation process is on and the reinforcements have also been rushed to the spot. Cutting short his Delhi visit, Chief Minister Raman Singh rushed to Raipur and has called for an emergency meeting to review the situation. He also met injured soldiers at the hospital.
नक्सलियों ने पहले गांव वालों को भेजा हमारी लोकेशन चेक करने के लिए, तो गांव वालों के हाथ में हथियार नहीं, हम गोली कैसे मारे उनको। बाकी उनके बाद में नक्सलियों ने लगभग 300 स्ट्रेंथ थी नक्सलियों की, मिलिट्री दल की, ब्लैक यूनिफॉर्म में थे सभी। उन्होंने हमारे पास आधाधुंध फायर किया, फिर हमने उनको जवाबी कार्रवाई किया। नक्सली हमने भी बहुत मारे हैं।
उनको अपनी चिंता से और उनके दुख में हमारी भागीदारी उनको बताते हैं। उसके साथ ही साथ जो इंजर्ड है उनके भी इलाज और उसके साथ साथ उस क्षेत्र में हम और कैसे बेहतर तरीके से अपनी ऑपरेशन को जारी रख सकते हैं। अभी मैं बैठूंगा सीआरपीएफ के और हमारे पुलिस के वरिष्ठ अधिकारियों के साथ इस पूरी घटना की और जानकारी लूँगा।
घटना बड़ी है, बहुत ही दुखद है, बहुत ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है और इसे मैं एक चुनौती भी मानता हूँ। और वैसे मैंने अपने गृह राज्य मंत्री श्री हंसराज अहीर को कहा है तुरंत छत्तीसगढ़ पहुंचने के लिए।
Now, Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti today said the situation in the state will improve in next 2 to 3 months. Mufti called on Prime Minister Modi in the national capital and pressed for dialogue with all the stakeholders to arrest the deteriorating situation in the valley. She also met Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh.
Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti met Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi on Monday amid the deteriorating law and order situation in the state. During the meeting, Mehbooba briefed the Prime Minister on the prevailing situation in the state and the way forward. She also appealed to him to take steps for the welfare of the state. However, she cautioned that an atmosphere needs to be created for a dialogue. The two leaders also discussed the recent incidents of stone pelting and the low voter turnout in the by-poll. She emphasized that dialogue was the only way to prevent the situation from deteriorating in the valley. The Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister also discussed the Indus Water Treaty with the Prime Minister.
जम्मू कश्मीर में पहले भी वाजपेयी जी साहब के टाइम में भी बातचीत हुई है। एल के अडवाणी डेप्यूटी प्राइम मिनिस्टर थे, हुर्रियत के साथ बात हुई है, दूसरों के साथ बात हुई है और हमें जहां वाजपेयी जी छोड़ गए थे वहीं से इसको आगे ले जाना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो जम्मू कश्मीर की हालत जो है वो सुधरने का कोई चांस नहीं है।
Later, Mehbooba also met Home Minister Rajnath Singh. She discussed various issues, particularly on the security situation in the state with him. BJP's General Secretary in charge of the state, Ram Madhav, was also present.
आने वाला वक्त 2-3 महीने हमारे लिए बहुत अहम है। इसके लिए मैं मीडिया से भी गुजारिश करूंगी कि हमारी मदद कर लें ताकि हम जम्मू कश्मीर में जो हम हालात को सुधारना चाहते हैं उसमें मदद करें और जम्मू कश्मीर को दोबारा हम एक खुशहाल जम्मू कश्मीर बनाएं।
In another development, the PDP and the BJP, which are running the coalition government in the troubled state, are not on the same page on the issue of dealing the stone pelting. Against the backdrop of the strains, BJP's points man Ram Madhav asserted that there was no rift between the PDP and his party.
There is no rift. There is some issue with regard to MLC election. We noticed that there was some lack of communication between the two parties. Those things will be addressed. There is no rift between the two parties.
The valley is reeling under tension also because the PDP lost the seat to National Conference in the April 9th by-poll in about 3 years after the 2014 general elections. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, tension continued to rise in Kashmir Valley after fresh clashes broke out between the college students and police on the first day of college reopening today. In continuing attack on political leaders, a PDP leader was shot at in Pulwama by unidentified men.
Unidentified militants shot dead a PDP leader and district president of Pulwama, Abdul Ghani Dar, in South Kashmir's Pingalana area. Dar, who's an advocate, was shot at 2 times in the chest and once in the shoulder from a close range with an AK assault rifle. This was the second political killing in South Kashmir in a week. Last Monday, militants killed a former public prosecutor affiliated with Opposition National Conference in Shopian district. The incident sparked tension in the valley with fresh clashes breaking out between the protesting students and security forces at the SP College in Srinagar. Security forces used baton to disperse the crowd after students indulged in stone pelting in the area. Colleges opened in Kashmir on Monday after a gap of 5 days, as higher education institutes were shut down in the wake of student protests in the valley last week against alleged high-handedness of security forces with students in Pulwama. Taking steps to control the tension, the police shut down 90% of nearly 300 WhatsApp groups that were being used to mobilize stone pelters in Kashmir.
कानूनी कार्रवाई भी की गई है और कुछ लोग इसमें अरेस्ट भी हुए हैं। और अभी तक जो हमने देखा कि जो ग्रुप एक्टिविटी होती थी कि छोटी-छोटी बात पे यहाँ से पुलिस की गाड़ी गई, यहाँ से आर्मी की गई, उसकी मूवमेंट भी ये बताते थे जो कि सिक्योरिटी के हिसाब से ठीक नहीं था।
According to the police, these groups with around 250 members each were shut down in the last 3 weeks. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, in an effort to stop cow smuggling, the centre has suggested to the Supreme Court a 12-digit unique number for every cow in the country, informing the Supreme Court about the measures to be taken for cow protection and to stop smuggling of cattle across India-Bangladesh border. The centre said a committee headed by Joint Secretary Home Ministry has been formed to find out ways to generate unique identification for each cow in India. The UID will have details like breed, sex, lactation, height, body, color, horn type, tail switch and special marks of the animal. The committee also recommended building shelter homes for abandoned cows in each district to be maintained by the state government.
These are all major policy matters which should have been discussed in Parliament, and Parliament is made redundant, and Parliament didn't have any opportunity to debate this issue, and they are taking the issue to Supreme Court, the apex court of the country, and submitting what government's position is today. And this position of government was not at all discussed, debated in Parliament. This is at one level undermining the Parliament.
Does the government knows very well that 50% of pregnant women in India are underweight? What is it that they want to do about it? Thirdly, the 37% children in India at the age of 5 are stunted. What is the proposal for them? See, this is what it is. The problem is the priorities of these governments are completely, they're misfocused. What needs to be done on priority is not concerned about it.
In a major verdict, the Supreme Court today ordered Kerala government to restore the services of ousted Director General of Police T.P. Senkumar, holding that his removal was arbitrary. In a blow to Pinarayi Vijayan-led LDF government, a bench of Justice Madan B. Lokur and Deepak Gupta observed that Senkumar was being unfairly treated by the newly formed government. Setting aside Kerala High Court order, the Supreme Court ordered Senkumar's reinstatement, who was removed as State Police Chief by the LDF government. Senkumar had approached the Supreme Court after failing to get a favourable order from the Central Administrative Tribunal, CAT. On April 11, the Kerala government defended its decision to transfer Senkumar, saying he had protected erring police officials in 2016 Puttingal Temple fire tragedy, in which 110 people were killed. After the order, the incumbent DGP Loknath Behera will have to be removed from the post. The high-stakes Delhi municipal polls saw a voter turnout of around 54% on Sunday amid complaints of faulty EVMs from the Aam Aadmi Party. Delhi Chief Minister said faulty EVMs prevented people from exercising their rights. Meanwhile, polling for 2 wards was postponed due to the death of the candidates.
The Delhi municipal polls concluded on Sunday with a voter turnout of around 54%, just surpassing the figures of 2012 polls. Following a slow start in the morning, voting gradually picked up and became fairly brisk towards the evening.
You can say it is around 54%. And polling percent of East Delhi is around 55% or more. Similarly, North is little less than East Delhi. It is a 54% plus. And 50% is the South Delhi.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, meanwhile, once again rigged up the issue of EVMs, claiming that faulty EVMs prevented many voters from casting their votes. The Aam Aadmi Party Supreme also alleged that many voters with valid voter slips were not allowed to exercise their franchise. The State Election Commission, however, said 18 EVMs were replaced owing to battery or button-related issues.
Election Commission of Delhi has done a very shoddy job, right from bringing the Generation 1 EVMs. पहली जनरेशन 15 साल पुरानी मशीनें लेके आए जिसके अंदर कोई भी पेपर ट्रेल नहीं था, जिससे वोटर को नहीं पता चल रहा उसका वोट कहाँ जा रहा है. उसके बाद इन्होंने इस तरीके की घपलेबाजी की है वोटर लिस्ट के अंदर. ये बहुत ज़्यादा मुझे लगता है दुख देने वाली बात है और बहुत ज़्यादा दिक्कत देने वाली बात है.
The Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress hope to wrest power from the BJP, which has governed the municipal corporation for the last 2 terms. But the BJP is confident of another victory.
दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की 200 से ज़्यादा सीटें आएंगी और दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की को तीनों नगर निगमों में पुनः बहुमत मिलेगा.
दिल्ली में आम आदमी पार्टी पहली बार लड़ रही है और जनता ने मन बनाया जैसे पहली बार दिल्ली के अंदर आम आदमी की दिल्ली सरकार बनाई थी, अब एमसीडी के अंदर भी आम आदमी की सरकार बनेगी. कुछ बीजेपी वालों ने कंफ्यूज करने की कोशिश करी जैसे वो पहली बार इलेक्शन लड़ रहे हैं, परंतु हम बताने में सफल रहे कि 10 साल से एमसीडी के अंदर बीजेपी ही है और उन्हीं की सरकार थी, उन्हीं के खिलाफ वोट देना है.
All the tall promises made by either Aam Aadmi or BJP is not for implementing. Its promises are only promises, nothing is being implemented. That is one of the main reasons why people are lacking interest in the election process.
Polling was held in 270 of the 272 wards of the 3 municipal corporations. The election to 2 wards has been postponed due to the death of the candidates. The counting will be held on 26th of April. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Bihar Assembly on Monday unanimously passed the Bihar GST Bill 2017 along with Bihar Taxation Amendment Bill to implement the GST regime from July 1st this year. Bihar took these GST-related bills after Parliament passed them earlier this month. With the ruling, the JDU, RJD Congress and even the opposition BJP and its NDA partners in support of GST, the House adopted related bills to pave the way for the rollout of GST through voice vote. Now here are some more updates from across the country in Nationwide. A Delhi court on Monday issued notice to CBI on a petition of Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Veerabhadra Singh's wife over the charge sheet filed against the couple in a DA case. In a petition, the Chief Minister's wife had alleged that probe agency had not followed the due process of law during investigation and sought that charge sheet filing the case should not be taken cognizance of. Former Goa Chief Minister Digambar Kamak was granted interim anticipatory bail in the rupees 35,000 crore illegal mining scam. Kamath also appeared before the SIT for questioning in the connection with the case. The veteran congressman was summoned last week to appear before the crime branch. The Delhi court on Monday convicted underworld don Chhota Rajan and 3 others in fake passport case. The arguments on sentencing will be heard on Tuesday. The charges against Rajan was framed for procuring a fake passport in the name of Mohan Kumar with the help of 3 government officials. Rajan is currently lodged in Tihar jail, while the 3 others accused are out on bail. The Supreme Court On Monday, here the petition seeking direction to make Hindi a compulsory subject nationwide for students up to class 8. According to petitioner, the study of Hindi in schools across the nation will promote fraternity, dignity of individual, unity and national integration. Veteran filmmaker and actor of Telugu cinema K. Viswanath will receive the 48th Dadasaheb Phalke Award for the year 2016. Viswanath is best known for his national award-winning films like Saptapari and Sankarabharanam. Viswanath is known for his work as an actor and a director, and also as presenter of classical and traditional art, music and dance. As a director, he has made 50 films since 1965 in Telugu, Tamil and Hindi languages. He'll be presented award by President Pranab Mukherjee during the National Film Award ceremony on the May 3rd. Time for a short break. More news on the other side.
Make this country into a Congress Mukt Bharat. Are you going to resort to the same strategy where you'll be breaching the fortresses of other parties?
Congress is a culture. We have to get rid of that culture.
RSS will be emboldened now with the kind of mandate which BJP has got, and they will try and impose a Hindutva agenda. Does it really isolate the minorities, especially the Muslims?
All those who have been talking like this, they have always tried to disturb the secular character of this country.
Health policy also talks about increased spending, about 2% of the GDP. That figure is insufficient.
These are all wrong notions. We have to increase the capacity to spend.
Watch To The Point with Union Health Minister Jagat Prakash Nadda only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari today embarked upon a 5-day trip to Armenia and Poland. He'll reach Armenian capital city of Yerevan tonight, after which he'll leave for Poland on Wednesday. Several agreements are expected to be signed during the visit, especially in the field of bilateral trade. The visit is also important with a view to connect with nations of close political synergy.
On the first leg of the tour, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari will be in the Armenian capital of Yerevan. There, he will hold talks with the Armenian President Serge Sargsyan and the Prime Minister Karine Karapetyan separately.
There is scope for further cooperation in several sectors such as IT, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, automobiles, garments and textiles. The Indian group Kalpataru Power Transmission Limited is currently executing a transmission tower project in Armenia. India has also assisted Armenia in setting up a center of excellence with the Param supercomputer.
The Vice President will also address students of the Yerevan University during his visit. From Armenia, the Vice President will leave for Warsaw, the capital of Poland, on April 26th. In Warsaw, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari will hold discussions with the Polish President Andrzej Duda, the Prime Minister Beata Szydło and Speaker of the Senate.
In terms of ease of doing business, India is becoming more and more a popular destination with our growth of 7% and a big market. Certainly that has already attracted about $600 million worth of Polish investments, and we welcome more, including in the defense sector.
Several agreements will be signed during the 5-day visit to the two countries. The Vice President is being accompanied by his wife Salma Ansari, Union Minister of the State for Small, Medium and Micro Industries Giriraj Singh, MP Sitaram Yechury, DP Tripathi and Thupstang Chewang and senior officials. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha television.
The issue of H-1B visa remained the focal point of discussion, with Finance Minister Arun Jaitley raising the matter with his US counterpart Steven Mnuchin. The move comes amid fear from India that curb on H-1B visas would impact the movement of Indian IT professionals to America. During his meeting with the US Treasury Secretary, Jaitley also highlighted the contribution Indian companies and professionals are making to the US economy. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order for tightening the rules of H-1B visa program to stop its misuse and ensure that visas are given to the most skilled or highest paid. He has also emphasized on the efforts to ensure free and fair trade practices. The FM, who was on a 5-day US visit, will today embark on his second leg of 2-day Russia visit. Jaitley is likely to meet Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu to discuss bilateral relations and boost military ties between India and Russia. Jaitley will return to Delhi on April 27th. The Afghanistan Defence Minister and Army Chief of Staff have resigned after deadliest ever Taliban attack on a military base on Friday. Defence Minister Abdullah Habibi and Army Chief Qadam Shah Shaheem quit after more than 100 soldiers were killed in a Taliban attack on a military base at Mazar-e-Sharif on Friday. 12 army officers, including 2 generals, have also been sacked for negligence over that attack.
बल्कि मां बखपला ख्वाखा बानी जमंग द ग्रान हेवाद सरलोड़े अफगानिस्तान द मिली गटो په خاطر باندې استعفا کړي زپدی باورې ما چې ځوان نسل به وشي کولای چې په ډیره منډه په ډیره زړورتیا باندې با دا ستونزې ډکې کی او دا تشه بډکې او دې کې به حتمی کامیابی موجوده وي
ادامه بدیم اما ما احترام به ذهنیت عمومی داشتیم و از رئیس جمهور و رئیس اجرایه التماس کردیم که بگذاریم فرصت بیشتری به دیگاه داده شود که اونا را هم در معرض امتحان قرار بدیم.
Now, snubbing the country's political establishment, voters in France have set a far-right Marine Le Pen and political novice Emmanuel Macron through to the second round of the country's presidential elections. Newcomer Macron is a clear favourite to become France's youngest ever president after topping Sunday's ballot with 23.7% of votes, slightly ahead of National Front leader Le Pen with 21.53% votes. The two are now set to face each other in runoff elections on May 7th. Neither candidate hails from the establishment parties that have dominated the country for decades. Sunday's first round contest was held under tight security after a terror attack in Paris on Thursday night disrupted the final day campaigning. The incumbent president, socialist Francis Hollande, made a decision not to run for the second term. He congratulated both the candidates who will face each other in runoff for the presidency.
La première étape qui doit conduire les Français à l'Élysée est franchie. Ce résultat est historique. Il fait reposer sur moi désormais la responsabilité immense de la défense de la nation française.
Je souhaite, dans 15 jours, devenir votre président. Le président de tout le peuple de France. Le président des patriotes face à la menace des nationalistes.
Let's have a look at some international news in Global Buzz. Nepal's Madhesi party struck a deal with the coalition government. The Nepal cabinet approved a constitution amendment and local polls agreement with Sanghya Gathbandhan, an alliance of Madhesi and Janjati parties. Under the deal, they will take part in the local body elections as a revised constitution amendment bill is passed in parliament through a fast-track process. Chinese President Xi Jinping told US President Donald Trump on Monday that he hopes all sides will exercise restraint on the issue of North Korea and that China oppose all activities that violate the UNSC resolutions. Xi said during a phone conversation with Trump that all sides should avoid anything to worsen the tensions. The world's first vaccine against malaria will be introduced in 3 countries, Ghana, Kenya and Malawi. This will start in 2018. The RTS-S vaccine trains the immune system to attack the malaria parasite, which is spread by mosquito bites. The pilot will involve more than 750,000 children between the age group of 5 to 7 months. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro has called for talks to resume with the opposition. He also called it he wanted local elections to take place. His comments came as another large demonstration is planned for Monday after 3 weeks of tense protests across the country. Demonstrators have been calling for presidential elections due next year to be brought forward and for President Maduro to step down. Now, the ICC's second board meeting of 2017 will start in Dubai on Monday. The tussle between the BCCI over its plan to reform the global financial and the governance model will take centre stage discussion. The model, first proposed in the February 4th board meet of the ICC, sought a fair distribution of cricket revenues among member boards against the current practice of a few, including India, Australia and England, walking away with the lion's share. India had opposed the model, saying it wasn't fair to it as it contributed the most in terms of cricket revenue to the global body. The meeting will conclude on April 27th. That's it for now. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for more. Thank you.